Matthew Knies continues to take the next step as Jake McCabe inks a long-term extension. Hey everyone, welcome into Inside the Leafs. Rob Wong joined alongside by Toronto Sun Maple Leafs writers Terry Koshan and Lance Hornby. And guys, the Maple Leafs got back in the win column with a solid victory in Winnipeg. Matthew Knies has continued to elevate his game. He was also elevated to the top power play unit. Terry scoring his fifth goal of the season in the win. He's now on pace for a 40-goal season this year. It has clearly improved in a lot of ways. We talk a lot about the core four or core five. Has Matthew Knies become a part of that group in your opinion?
Well, if he hasn't yet, he's certainly on the way. I don't know if I'd put him right in that category quite yet. I mean, we're talking about a group, and really, I think it's, to me, it's the Matthews, Marner, and Nylander now. That's very highly skilled and talented and everything else. And I don't know that Matthew Knies has those kinds of talents, but he certainly brings something different than they do, and that's the power forward type game. We saw it again last night in the goal that he scored. We've seen it several times with his 5 goals this season. And yeah, I think he's on the way to being that. The thing with Knies is once he realizes how strong he is and can use that on a consistent basis, I mean, he'll eat up what Craig Berube wants him to do. Berube's mentioned a few times with him being that power forward type, and his game is perfectly suited to the way Berube wants his forwards to play if they have that ability, and Knies does. So, I think he's knocking on that door. Does he keep up a 40-goal pace? It'll be a challenge for him because he is still young and everything else. But he learned a lot playing on the top line last year, and like you say, he gets the promotion to the top power play unit. We'll see how long that lasts, but yeah, he's right there knocking on the door, I think, to being a really good long-term power forward for the Leafs.
Well, I think that he's certainly a player that can do a lot of what Austin Matthews says. And you think of all the complaints, even though Marner and Nylander can score, that they stay on the perimeter. And to Terry's point, here's a guy who gets really involved, drives the net, great left shot, has proven he can stay on that top line. And remember all the tinkering last year with, the most recent example obviously being Tyler Bertuzzi, and the fact that he wasn't working out there, and other people they've tried. This kid seems to have the same, the correct jam, the right attitude, and it allows the Leafs to have a proper second line, and now, of course, a little promotion on the power play, just kind of carrot on the stick for him to continue to do that. There's a great chemistry with Matthews on and off the ice, to Arizonans, which is quite unusual, but who's going to argue when Knies has done what he's done so far and could potentially be such a big part of this team going forward?
Well, he's not mentioned as part of the core four or core five, but Jake McCabe has clearly become a key piece on this roster, Lance, and the Maple Leafs and Jake McCabe agreeing to a 5-year extension worth $4.51 million per season. This seems like a pretty good deal for both sides.
Yeah, you know what? It's I'm thinking big picture here, that you've got some guys signed long term in Morgan Rielly, in Oliver Ekman-Larsson, and the other deals that they've done. And here's a guy. He said he came here last year and was on his own for a month or two while his family was away, and that really allowed him to become part of the team. He had, I guess, nowhere else to go or whatever, so he was hanging with a lot of the guys, and certainly. That's the Leafs have been looking for a fix like this. How many physical defensemen have they maybe added at playoff time and didn't work out, or started from the beginning of the year and it didn't work out? This guy's been very, very effective in that way. And you need a defense with a mean streak, and certainly he worked well with Benoit, and now with different partners. He's come up, he's come up big as well. And, now he's, you got to take him at face value. He says he's very happy to be here long-term. His family's happy. And now this could work out long-term for the Leafs, especially with some of the other guys they have locked in for long-term deals.
I look at it the other way. For me, it's too long. I know that it brings down the AAV at 5 years, but McCabe is 31 now. Rielly's 30. Tanev's 34. Ekman-Larsson's 33. They all have long-term deals. This has the potential to become a really old defense core really fast. And I don't think that, McCabe is like some of the others in the group, right? We don't know yet really what he can do in a 3 or 4 round playoff run, because they haven't been there, and we won't know until they get there if they do. I don't know. I just think that the bigger thing for me on this defense group right now is like I said, the four of them have already hit 30. You know, two of them, Tanev and Ekman-Larsson, are well into their 30s, and they're going to be even further down the line when the contracts end. Who's coming? Who's that next Leafs defenseman that's going to, you know, be that guy to kind of help that transition from these people into something else? Right now, I don't think they have that. And I don't know that, you know, signing McCabe for 5 years, I think a 3-year deal would have been fine. You know, people talk about the cap going up and everything, which is going to. So maybe you take a little bit more of a hit there on a 3-year deal, considering that you're going to have more money to use. But I don't know. I just think 5 years is a long time for Jake McCabe. It's not to take anything away from the player, but he'll be 36 when this is done. That's old for a guy who plays the way that he does. So we'll see. I mean, that's today, but you know, in 5 years, if they win the Stanley Cup, as the goal is, then it won't matter. And like I say, I just think it's a little lengthy, and I'm curious to see where some of these next defensemen are coming from, because as you know, as we know, look at two of the guys that they thought that they drafted and were going to be part of this going forward, in Rasmus Sandin, and now Timothy Liljegren, first round picks. That didn't happen. So it's interesting to say the least about McCabe, but like I say, I'm a little bit more on the fence in this one, I think.
The only quick thing I'd add, Terry, is that you know, you make some very good points, but the Leafs are all about the now and winning now. And
well, yeah, I know that, Lance. But I mean, does McCabe proven he can help you win now? I you know, where's that proof? I guess, because you can be all about the now, but you have to have the people to help you win now and make you win now. And you know, whether it's 3 or 5 years, you know, I'll be curious to see what kind of role he plays in that. I guess my point is, I'm just not as confident as him in the long term as some other people are. That's all.
Well, the Maple Leafs are locked into this pathway with a lot of these older players, as they have become one of the older teams in the National Hockey League. But as you guys have both mentioned, they're trying to win now. We'll see how things go the rest of the season. As always, leave your thoughts in the comment section below. For Terry Koshan and Lance Hornby, I'm Rob Wong. Thanks for watching, and we'll talk to you next time.